Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. We have a piece of, I'd call it kind of a rose-colored holographic cardstock, okay? Not printable vinyl, but just straight cardstock, meaning that you really have to use the compatible media with this, something like a Brilliance ink or a StazOn, something that's going to dry on here. Now, if it doesn't adhere to it, then you can always spray seal it. All right. So that being said, I'll be using the white and black Brilliance ink. I do have my StazOn here, but I'm still kind of wondering what color I should stamp my imagery on this. It has a full range going from very light to very dark here, so if you stamp something in black, black against those darker areas don't show up very well, and white against those really light areas won't show up very well. I don't know, we can try it in both because this is going to be a very quick type of video here. All right, so I'm going to use my white paint pen here to add some stars into here. And I'm just doing that because some people don't have something like a Dr. Martens or any type of white paint that they can splatter paint on here. And adding these little stars into this type of surface really gives it a nice feeling of kind of dimension within this kind of three-dimensional space. It's two-dimensional, but it looks three-dimensional with the holographics. So, all right, so I'm adding in my stars first, and I'm doing some in a little bit of a larger kind of application. Kind of group some of your stars and add some of them a little bit closer than others, and I think that kind of helps with the just kind of breaking up the monotony of kind of equal spacing. All right, so what we have is this right here. I kind of do it in a little bit of a Milky Way kind of style with that angle right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quote stamp. I really love this quote right here. Love must be as much a light as it is a flame by Thoreau. And I don't know, I think it's appropriate for this type of paper or type of scene. It really looks like kind of these light pillars, and it kind of looks like a kind of a multicolored flame in many ways. I just realized I used my wrong stamp pad here. I have one white stamp pad for my sponge cotton ball applications of this ink, and then I have one pad that's just for making impressions, because on this one with the C for cotton ball, you got a lot of cotton fibers remaining on the pad, which you can scrape off, but I don't like scraping it off all the time because you're going to be losing ink. So I use my Brilliance white pad so often for these two different types of applications that I have separate ones. This one's for my impressions only. All right, so let's try this again here. I kind of go this way, then I'll go this way, because when you re-ink kind of thick inks, sometimes you're not quite sure where the thick inks are in there. So I want to give a real even application with this. I think I still have a little bit of cotton remaining on here that I didn't scrape off, but let's just see what we can do here. If I get this and it's not kind of straight, I can just wipe it off and do it again, because this ink is not going to be super aggressive on this type of paper. In other words, it's not going to dry really fast. And even if it dries, you can still wipe it off. And that's where the spray sealing comes in. When you get what you want, then you just spray seal it. And I do believe everyone should have some spray sealant. It's just a standard, art medium for so many different types of projects and applications of media in general. And so a lot of times it makes things look a lot more vibrant. So it's a good way to go with different types of inks. So you have your quote stamp here. It doesn't show up too much in those lighter areas, but it does look like it's kind of floating in there. All right, I'm going to go for, I think, a white application of media here. Let's just see what it looks like. Well, maybe I'll do another video. I mean, if it looks really good, I don't know. Maybe I won't do a black impression version. Those stars in the background too. I mean, if you do them, you can add those. We can add those over the tops of trees, especially if the trees are stamped in black, and then it'll look like snowfall, which will be cool. Okay, so cleaning off here a little bit, or a lot. I have a lot of black ink on here from a weekend of stamping. I guess it wasn't just a weekend. I don't know when the last time I cleaned my stamps was. It's been a little while. Yeah, still quite a bit on there. All right, let's give this a try. Okay, now on the tops of these trees, I don't want to add too much ink. I don't know, I might have added a lot already, but I'm trying to, you know, when you're tapping on media, sometimes you can kind of tap some of it off depending on kind of the pressure at which you're applying the pad to stamp. All right, now here's the thing. I'm going to stamp this out like this, okay? And it's not about just like hard pressure or something like that. It's about even pressure, but it's about allowing that ink to transfer and start to set up a little bit. So the Brilliance inks are a fast drying ink, but we're talking about a pretty non-porous surface if it's porous at all, okay? So I'm going to stamp this out here, get good even pressure, but we'll let it sit here for a little bit. For that ink to start to, it doesn't dry real fast. It's not like a StazOn ink or something like that. But even just allowing a few seconds can make a difference between, let's say, I don't know, maybe a 10%, maybe more than that, like a 20% ink to surface transfer rate, or a 80% or something like that. If I lift this up too fast, there's going to be a lot of ink still remaining on the stamp, okay? So I want a little bit more of that to transfer. Now, I'm not going to wait for an hour or something like that. I guess if you're stamping something like this out and, you know, you're going to go grab lunch or something like that, you can leave it down. I'm not sure what that would do. I'm not sure if it would transfer or if it would dry on the rubber and, you know, you'd lift it up and still there's a lot of ink on it. I'm not sure. But that looks pretty good. You can see where that ink is fully, stamp is fully inked up, and you can see that right there. That's a pretty decent amount that transferred on there. So let's take a look, and I don't know, I think that's a pretty good impression there. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Okay, I'm going to put a couple more trees down here. Wrong one. That's my cotton, right? And I'll just be using the tops of these trees, so I don't need to ink it up fully. Go down here about like so. I guess I'll just go for those two trees right here. I might get a little bit of that big one, I'm not sure. No, I mean, okay, so let's try something here. Let's just lift this off and not allow that ink to transfer so much. I don't know, it transferred pretty good. I don't know, I guess I didn't need to hold it down so long, but, you know, better safe than sorry. So anyways, look at that right there. Now, I think these trees would look kind of interesting if they were embossed, but you have to be careful about embossing on your metallic types of cardstocks because you can get some peeling sometimes that can happen in there. The word stamps are kind of hard to read a little bit, or the quote stamp in there with that, you know, that action kind of happening in the back there, but I think that's a small price to pay. Okay, So if I stamp this out in black, I think it would show it, but I think the white was the way to go. Look how beautiful that one is with all those blue tones like that at that angle. You get warmer tones like this. It gets harder to read, you know, the more light you have in this area like that, but it's still kind of cool. It's like a floating quote stamp or something like that. And I like this. It's two stamps, you know, with a little bit of paint pen. I think some crystals on here would be cool, and maybe I'll add in some crystals. But what I'll do is I'll allow this to dry, and then I'll come up with a little bit of a border around there, maybe a little bit of white border, and maybe silver or something like that on the perimeter, like another mirrored silver, non-holographic. And then we'll add on a little bit of bling in here because after all, this is a really quick scene right here, a quick card. So I've been blabbering on here, but this is less than 10 minutes just to get this far. So adding a couple crystals on there. And, you know, card formatting should be, you know, done in quick order. All right, I have spray sealed this. It didn't take long for the ink to dry, and I spray sealed it with a Krylon triple thick. I just happen to have the triple thick right now. I'd usually use like a Krylon UV resistant clear gloss. But anyways, I think this looks really good with the little bit of a white cardstock matting around here and just the plain silver on there. I think this is a really elegant looking piece right now. But that being said, let's see here. Let me grab my Precision Craft glue, Barely Art, and let's add in some additional element into the mix here. I think it looks okay as is, but just, I don't know, it's, this card is pretty elegant, but it is rather minimal as well. So I think that this will just kind of, I don't know if it'll put it over the top, so to speak, but I don't know, it just adds in a slightly more, kind of full statement. It's kind of like silver on silver on silver here, because these are the clear crystals, which are basically silver or whatever, chrome. Let's see, sometimes it's hard to tell where I've added that glue. It tends to look the same as the it looks the same as the white. What am I trying to say here? It's the same as the white acrylic paint pen work. All right, let's see. All right. Let's take a look at this piece here. Yeah, look at those little crystals kind of glistening in there. And I like the quote a lot. Like I said, it's light, but those do, it looks like a flame, doesn't it? Like that. And I like that. Okay, I was going to say, I like that all the colors of the spectrum are in there. I was going to say, wait, where's the green? But there is a green right there. And I like that there's movement in this piece. So not a complicated process, okay? So we're letting the paper do the work. We're stamping just, what is it, 1, 2, 3 images stamped in the white ink. spray sealed. The white paint pen was added in there. I think I added that. Did I add that in there first? I think I added it in there first. But it could be added in right now too. You can do it whenever, whenever you want. But that is just so much fun, and I don't know, you can I kind of geek out at looking at those color changes like that. I think that's really, really fun to do. And again, so easy. All right, but I don't know, I don't remember taking like a silverish one, piece of card, that holographic cardstock, and then matting it with the silver, and I really like that look right there. It just makes for a really elegant piece, and that holographic, that holographic in there just really, really is a kind of a nice dynamic element. I don't usually use this color too often, so you can take a look and see what it looks like without anything like that. But after doing this combination right here, I'll have to do that again sometime. I think the white is a good way to go too. Look at that white really standing out against that background a lot. All right, so anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the card, and hope you give this type of paper, it doesn't have to be this specific one, but these holographics, kind of a chance, to, I don't know, kind of become part of the, the repertoire of your, I don't know, whatever you're stamping, I don't know, whatever processes or techniques that you use. And it's really fun. It doesn't have to be the holographics only. It could be the, the reflective metallic iridescence. Those are fun. The Star Dream Styles one, metallics, that type of thing. But just use the correct style of inks on them. You want inks that'll dry on there, meaning that I would probably stay away from your oil-based pigment inks a la, VersaFine Clair or something like that, unless you're going to emboss with that style of ink, and that would be cool too. But just look to media that will dry on there so that you can spray seal it down and make it adhere, or you just go with those styles of ink. I don't even know. Does StazOn come with like a silver ink or something like that? I know they have a white one, but I haven't really experimented around with that one too much because I just haven't gotten around to ordering some re-inkers for some of my media, and that one just, I don't know, it took me a while to get around to trying it out, and I just, I don't know, by the time the StazOn inks, you pretty much need to re-ink them anytime you're going to use them, and I just haven't bought a white re-inker for my StazOn white pad right here. So if something like this works out really good, then you don't even need to spray seal this at all. It would probably adhere to it and dry very quickly. So I don't know. A lot of things to, well, not a lot. There's a few things I need to do to experiment a little bit more with a few different types of media surface combinations to really get the gist of it. Okay, thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, drop me a note in the comments section, and I hope if you like these videos, you like it and subscribe to the channel.